Okay, guys, we are back with episode 55 of Doc, Doc, and the
Doc,
Boxer.
the boxer. Yeah.
And the Boxer. Um, yeah, we're gonna go back 2 weeks ago, talk about those fights, and then we'll speak about more current boxing news now. And just to talk before we get into it, I was just watching on on Instagram, following I forget what page, but it was it was the LA presser of Canelo and Caleb Plant. They've already had their first. I think this was their first face to face,
Oh,
and
really? Okay.
it may have been staged, but there was some pushing and things like that. Like Canelo pushed him. You know how they do at press conferences.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
Caleb Plant came back and then went to slap him, and then Canelo did like a slip and then came back with those slap. I mean, they
I
weren't
gotta
trying
find
to.
that.
Yeah. So, do you think it's trying to sell the fight, or is
Totally,
real?
totally trying to sell it. Totally trying to sell it. I don't think the problem is, I think a lot of us boxing fans, we know Caleb. Excuse me. We know Caleb Plant. He's not a stranger to us. But
No.
I think to get more of Canelo's fans buying as well, they gotta maybe get some interest to part with their hard-earned buck.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that it's gonna go more on the side of yeah, it's not Canelo. It's not Canelo that's gonna has to bring the fans, because they will follow Canelo, and you know they will. Caleb Plant is the one that doesn't have quite the following, even close to
Yeah,
what Canelo does,
yeah,
right? This fight will sell, I'm sure. Anyways, like
yeah,
it's gonna sell. He's the biggest draw on this side of the pond.
yeah, yeah. He'll sell. He'll sell.
The other
Yeah.
big draw, we're gonna talk about that later in Anthony Joshua's fight this weekend.
This weekend's chock full.
Yeah, yeah. So let's the reason why I got on the Manny Pacquiao shirt is because I don't want to take it off. No, he's so now the 8 division champion, 42 years old, has basically confirmed that like that's it with his career. He's a Hall of Famer, spanned 72 professional fights. 72 fights.
That's old school, man.
Whoa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those guys used to have like hundreds of fights, man, back then. So he
That's,
announced this past weekend that he's entering the 2022 presidential race in the Philippines, which we knew was gonna
that's
happen,
an amazing story, man.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite the
If
no
there was
fighters.
Yeah, yeah. And if there was a movie about his life, I would go to the theater to see it.
Yeah, maybe I
Except
could
for
play it. Maybe I could play it. Manny Pacquiao. Um, I run for president of the Philippines. I be a good Philippines. I make the people strong. How's that? Like, I
that's not bad. You got to keep working it though, dude.
pray to God.
That's good.
I respect boxing. I respect. Mm.
Jinky.
Everyone else says that when doing a Manny Pacquiao impersonation. Jinky, the
It's
Jinky
such a
one.
unique name.
It is. Yeah. So then, Doc, then we'll pass on to the second item on our
Yeah.
list here. Then we're just alluding to a little bit the IBF, the IBO, WBA, WBO heavyweight titles on the line here, and we're talking at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which has a capacity of 62,850. Apparently they sold out within an hour.
This is Joshua Usyk fight.
Yeah, Joshua Usyk fight in London at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
London is a fight town.
Vegas.
They're a mecca of boxing.
Vegas.
They really are.
Yeah. Because we were talking about Canelo being the cash cow over here on this side, but Anthony Joshua is the main guy. Is it? Is it Joshua?
What'd you say?
You're cutting out.
Yeah, you too a bit there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Is it Joshua that is the highest earner in boxing? Or is it
Just for me,
Canelo?
I think it's Canelo still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purses and stuff,
Right?
right?
What?
Yeah. Purses and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Um
Sure.
so
But he's up there, man. He
sorry,
sold
pardon?
out Wembley Stadium, didn't he, when he fought Klitschko?
Yeah, that's according to the Sun UK, and Joshua's already sold out. This is seventh venue that he's sold out. Seventh venue. That's how immensely popular he is. And
He is.
in
Man, that's
England.
incredible.
So he's facing and Joshua, we're talking 24-1, 22 KOs. His second title defense. He beat Pulev in his first one. He
Yeah.
won his first 7 title fights before his lone loss in 2019, facing Oleksandr Usyk, 18-0, 13 knockouts. This is Usyk's 8th title fight. He's 7-0. All of them except one was at cruiserweight, I think, or all of them.
All of them
Anyway,
were cruiserweight.
all
But
of them, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Unified champion, cruiserweight, IBF, WBA, WBC, WA titles from
Yeah.
2016 to 2018. So, there's one other thing I wanted to. Okay, so if you look at the top 5 UK pay-per-view events of all time,
Mm-hmm.
so we're talking about how popular it is there and how it's sold out there. So uh 4 of them are headlined by 4 of the 5 were headlined by Joshua. When you compare Anthony Joshua to Lennox Lewis, another big star in the heavyweight division from England, you can really appreciate how big of a star Joshua is. None of Lewis's pay-per-view appearances did 1 million purchases in the UK. Not against Tyson or Holyfield.
That's
But
incredible.
Joshua broke the 1 million by threshold 4 times.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
According to the Sunday Times rich list, Joshua is worth the equivalent of 158 million US dollars. I thought he was more than that.
Yeah, I thought he would be too, but that's still pretty good.
Oh, that's unheard of. The partnerships that he attracts, like commercially, only those are the biggest athletes get these type of. We're talking Hugo Boss, Under Armour, Jaguar, Beats by Dre. 31 years old, right?
He's set.
Yeah, beyond. But when it comes to this point, set is one thing, but does the fighter want the legacy? Like, does he want to be known as the best fighter in the heavyweight division and go down in history? Who doesn't want that, right?
Yeah, listen, he's got to fight one of 2 guys, and I think it's going to end up being Tyson Fury.
Let's see how this plays out, because we cannot forget that Ruiz, he did upset, and we're talking like overweight Ruiz and stuff, not the Ruiz that's in the training camp there with Valdez and those guys and Canelo, Eddie Reynoso, not that one, right?
Yeah, that's true, but he was even more overweight. I think that was his usual fighting weight in the first fight with Joshua. It was in the second one where he was way over.
Yeah.
Admitted he didn't train.
He didn't train. He lived that life. He was a heavyweight champion, living that life, fast cars and women and all that. And
way back again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to take time. But Yeah, so Usyk, you know, he's very skilled. We know that. Is he got a lot of power at heavyweight? I still don't know. And I wasn't overly impressed with his fight against Chisora, although he did fight well.
I knew you were gonna say that because that was my response too. Like if you were to ask me who was gonna win this fight, and I would
Yeah,
say based on what I saw of his first heavyweight fight, was that his first heavyweight fight?
I think that may have been his second one, but I'm not
Okay,
sure.
but anyways, it was a lackluster performance against their Chisora. I wasn't too impressed at all. So this is what he says. He's like, I'm very grateful to all those that support me and everything else, but they expect too much from athletes. Some of them do very much to not understand what is happening in the ring, how difficult it is, or in some cases, how easy it is. People have an image that they think of. Usyk was telling the Sun, he goes, the fact is I boxed Derek for 12 rounds, Derek, but he's actually a very difficult guy to beat. If you look at his two fights with Tyson Fury, he's gone 22 rounds with him.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can't base, but that's what we do. That's what analysts do. We're not analysts, but this is what we're analyzing. We're looking at his past performances and more so the very last performance that he had, and that was the fight with Chisora.
Yeah, yeah, and I like what he says, but I never heard him say that after any of his cruiserweight fights.
Well, he didn't really need to because he like those fights where he dominated the cruiserweight division, unified champion and all that. So he wasn't
Exactly.
right.
That makes my point.
Okay, I see.
The heavyweight level, he's not going to dominate because
Mhm.
he's not really big enough. If we just look at the physics of the fight,
Right, right.
he's a
Yeah,
small heavyweight.
yeah.
He's going to get pushed around a little bit more, and he's going to have to take heavier punches too.
Both Usyk and Joshua both won Olympic golds in 2012 London.
Yeah,
Usyk was light heavyweight, and heavyweight was Anthony Joshua.
yeah.
So yeah, Joshua is the naturally bigger guy for sure, right?
Longer reach. I mean, he's got so much going for him with any fighter, but against Usyk, I think he's just so much bigger.
One other thing we can throw into the mix here with this whole fight is that corners make a difference
Yeah,
in the fight. And Papachenko is in the corner of Usyk this time. Generally, I think he just helps out in the corner. I don't think, or actually, I think he doesn't even work anybody's corner. He's only stuck with the Sun. But now but he does give advice and stuff to Usyk, obviously, right? Those guys are Lomachenko, Usyk,
yeah,
both Olympic gold medalist, and right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He does train with
I'm
those
sure.
guys sometimes.
Hmm. But
And
we got Papachenko in the corner this
yeah,
time, so him will it make a difference? I think quickly. I just think Usyk he 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 will give problems to Joshua because um Usyk is a good like herky jerky slick fighter.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, and it'll be interesting to see how Joshua has prepared for that because the camp knows that. It'll be interesting to see what game plan they come up with to deal with that way of fighting.
And when you're saying they, we're talking about Robert McCracken. He's a coach of Anthony Joshua. Robert McCracken, he coached me for one of my first pro
Yeah,
fight in England.
yeah. Wasn't he
He's
Froch's
Yeah, he
trainer?
was. Froch really propelled him to like this guy. He's now the head of the GB boxing amateur program
Yeah,
there. I think it's in Sheffield. They have that training
yeah. They
center.
have Yeah, they have that facility there. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
wouldn't something like that be nice here?
Oh man, you'd see way better competition coming out of
Yeah,
Canada,
yeah,
but
yeah. That's it.
won't go there. We won't talk about
We
amateur
won't
boxing.
win. Yeah,
Too painful.
it is. It is definitely. Okay, Doc. So we can we can move on. Uh,
Okay.
okay, so both guy we know everything. Well, one good thing with Joshua now is that he signed a deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn that's gonna last us the rest of his career. So I think things are pointing in the direction of Joshua here. Like the arrows going this way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's pretty good news for him. I'm sure he carved out a good deal too.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Okay, Doc. So let's move on. So we got another fight coming up, and finally we get to see Terrence Bud Crawford back in the ring, and we're talking on what's the date? On the November 20th at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. Uh, we got Sean against Sean Porter. So we got 37-0, 28 KOs. Terrence Bud Crawford, Omaha, Nebraska against Sean Showtime Porter, 31-3 and one draw.
Yeah.
Ohio.
I think this is a really important fight for Porter to show up and do well.
And when doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right?
He always shows up. He really has to win. Otherwise, he's going to start to fall to that closer to the gatekeeper for the talented guys coming up.
Good point, because he did fight the who's who of 147, 140, 35, but he lost a split decision to Earl Spence. He won a split decision against Jordani Ugas. He won in the 12th against Danny Garcia, your boy. He TKO'd in the 9th Andre Berto, lost in the 12th to Keith Thurman, won in the 12th Adrian Broner, lost in the 12th Cal Brook.
Yeah, yeah.
So
a lot of guys.
yes, he's fought everyone, right?
Yeah,
Everyone.
yeah.
And you're right, Doc. Exactly. If he loses this fight, he becomes almost like the gatekeeper now.
Yeah,
Like I would say he's above the gatekeeper, but if you want to see if you're ready to be like the top of the cream of the crop, you got to
that's
be Porter.
Yeah, yeah.
Be Showtime.
And he's the gauge.
Yeah.
He'll tell you where your guy is at, basically.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he makes his fights interesting and fun and exciting. So be interesting to see how Crawford, what plan they've come up with to counter the aggression of Porter.
It'll be exactly 1 year when they step in the ring. I think almost exactly the same month. What year ago did we see Terrence Crawford? And that was that stoppage with Kell Brook with a great performance.
Yeah, that was brilliant, man. Kell Brook is no slouch.
Definitely not, man.
I mean, he's the world champion. He beat Porter and won Porter's belt.
Yeah. Wait. So, yeah. You're right. Yep. Lost in the 12th to Porter.
Yeah. So he was no slouch, and Crawford took good care of him. Each round, learning, and then okay, I got you figured out.
Yeah.
It was a stoppage. So good fight. That's in November.
Yeah, that's November 20th. November 20th. Yeah.
We also got on a Monday night, I think it is, maybe October 4th or something, is Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, but I heard at the Hulu Theater in New York, right? So the talk right now is that the Scott Cavanagh, I think it's Scott Triller, the Triller CEO or their owner or whatever,
Yeah.
is said it's going to be on another date now. I think
Uh,
on the 6th or something, or so. And now there's fights amongst um like both guys don't want the fight to be changed again. Like it's been changed so many times, postponed, coronavirus, this, that. It's just been almost like a year in the making.
it's kind of stalling that division too,
It
right?
is, but that division stalled. Like it's stalled too, anyways. Like there's stall. I mean, there's talk about Jojo Diaz and Ryan Garcia fighting
Yeah.
now, and hopefully that can come up. But we need to see these. Tank Davis is going to make an announcement very soon about his next opponent, and that's going to be very interesting to hear what he does in terms
Yeah.
of weight class he goes
Yeah.
to.
True. That's,
Yeah,
I think, I'm more curious about the weight class than his opponent.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm all scratching because my allergies are sucking right now.
What are you allergic to?
It's ragweed season.
Oh, geez, it's
I'm
almost
allergic.
over though, right?
Yeah, yeah. My
Yeah,
eyes, my no, everything's itchy.
yeah.
But I'm more allergic to liberal governments calling an
Oh,
election. And the,
60. What was it? 600 million?
yeah, because
Like,
that couldn't have been put to better use.
yeah, yeah.
So stupid. He's an idiot. I hate that guy.
Let's not get off topic here,
You're
dog.
right. Sorry. Sorry.
We
I like
can't
to
go.
be
Definitely can't get political, man.
true. 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 You're right. Let's not go there. You're
We
right.
don't. We're gonna get a whole bunch of comments and stuff.
Good. We need some.
You guys are dickheads. You guys are screw Trudeau.
I'll
And
take any. I'll take any. I'll take any comment.
did I ever show you that one picture of me and Trudeau in the boxing ring?
No.
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 He came to Navdeep Bains was a minister of aviation for the for the parliament, right? And he's like he's our cousin. We grew up with him.
Oh
So he
wow.
called me. He's like, "Hey, Justin Trudeau is coming to Windsor. This is when I lived in Windsor. He wants to train boxing. Can you train him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, bring him to the gym." And he came there. They had the media there and stuff, and we
Did Pat,
were doing pads with him.
how was his technique?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but everyone can look good on the pads and on the bag. Put them in the ring. It's a different story.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
We used to call those guys equipment specialists. They used to look sick on the stuff, like boom, bam, bam. Then you get them in the ring, beat up, and never come back.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's get this back here. Okay, Doc, and then we can go back to the fights 2 weeks ago, and we're
Yeah.
talking about Oscar Valdez, and we talked about the whole Fetterman and Doc. Sorry for disparaging what you said, but you're like it's a steroid. It's not just a diuretic, and you're right. Fetterman is a steroid, not just a diuretic.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean that was an issue right up until the fight. They were talking about it. But let's talk about the fight.
Let's talk about the fight because look, like with Oscar Valdez, we've seen him look amazing, right? He knocked out Burchell. That was a huge fight. What he's done is been amazing. So look at all the pressure first on this guy. Like, regardless if he took Fetterman or not, a steroid or not, uh, he probably did. He did. Obviously, he did. He did.
He
And
definitely,
probably knowingly is
yeah.
the argument is like he unknowingly he from a T whatever.
Yeah, and then they've shown that there's no tea on the planet that has that in it.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
even his use is bad.
Yeah.
So we know
Yeah.
it's freaking disappointing.
So he's got all this pressure on his back
Yeah,
all the whole week leading up to the fight and
Sure.
stuff the days before, it's a lot of negative talk against Valdez, and
You're right.
rightfully so, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go to the fight. So in the fight, okay, so first Oscar Valdez from Sonora, Mexico improves to 30-0, 23 KOs with the unanimous decision, 115-112 twice, and 117-110. Absurd. That's always absurd scoring. And then this judge that gave that apologized for that after. Damage is done, man. Like, whatever. Then against Robson Conceicao, a 16-1, 8 KOs from Salvador Bahia, Brazil. So
Conceicao, I think his name is
Conceicao.
Yeah.
Conceicao. Just quickly, the win makes it better. This is what Valdez says. I've been through a hard week. We won the fight. We did what we had to do, and we move on to the next chapter. He also said this. It makes it complicated when somebody's trying to run the whole fight. I mean, I'm trying to put on a good show for my fans. I'm trying to give the fans what they want, which is a good fight. But if he wants to run, you can't win a fight like that running. Okay, so what do you say about that?
Well, first of all, I thought the Brazilian won the fight.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the first time I think we're disagreeing.
Especially the first half of the fight. I didn't see, we saw some aggression from Diaz. We saw moments where this guy did run. That's true. But he always interspersed
Valdez.
Nice combinations, especially a nice jab to the body. I mean, this kid can fight, man. He was smart. I think Buddy McGirt was in his corner. What do you think? So,
okay, just about, you're right. The first half of the fight, he was winning the fight. He clearly won the fight at the beginning part, 6 rounds, probably about. I don't know how you could have scored all the rounds, but that long stick, he was taller. He had a long reach. He had that nice straight jab, the jab and the straight right. And he was mostly throwing just straight punches, bang, 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 and he's so long. One thing is this, is that he's never been 12 rounds. He's never been 12 rounds. He's only been 10 rounds twice.
Yeah.
So you could see the difference after he won the majority of the first half of the fight, but you could see a decline in his conditioning, and you can see Valdez is an animal. I mean, if you look at his face and everything after the fight, it looked up that of somebody that lost because of face. But some people mark up. But whatever the case may be, I just felt Valdez did enough. More than enough. It was clear. It was a clear win for him. That a clear win. I think a clear win. Close, yes, but it was a decisive win.
I can't agree with the word decisive.
Okay.
That's
okay. This is good.
Yeah, I do completely have a different opinion on it. And that 117, 110 smells. It's horrible. Not even at all. It smells. And it's what is it? WBO Suleiman, is that his name?
WBC.
Suleiman. He doesn't have the greatest reputation, does he?
Not, especially when he allowed Valdez to still fight in this fight, and the Yucatec tribe, whatever, allowed it, even though he failed at the test of Fetterman.
What about the Rabbits taking a point away from the Brazilian?
That was horrible.
There was no warning, no nothing.
No warning.
Then Valdez did it to him. And remember, I'm a Valdez fan, but Valdez did hit him in the back of the head. and the ref didn't say a word.
Yeah.
It just smelled to me. When there's such a big difference in the score, 117, 110, it taints the whole judging comes into question. And what I saw, this kid I thought he outboxed Valdez. Well, Valdez had to bully his way in most of the time.
He did. Valdez, he didn't look great for sure. He didn't look great, but he did enough to win. In my opinion, yeah. So I just feel he did enough.
I hear you. Yeah, but
I mean,
it was an entertaining fight, though. And honestly, I was quite impressed with this Brazilian's skills.
I was very impressed, but dog, did you not see him fade like a haircut?
Absolutely, but that doesn't necessarily mean he lost.
But the second half of the fight, like, it was all Valdez, really.
It was Valdez coming forward, not always effectively. And then every round, he had his moments where he was just putting combinations together on Valdez, right, including into the 12th round.
And then you look to where the fight was at too, right? And obviously WBC, and it's in Arizona, and that's like, I think it was Arizona, the second home of Valdez. Like, I think he was either he lived there for a while.
I think so. Right.
Yeah, he lived there, I think, for a while.
But anyways, it was an entertaining fight. It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
You're right, Doc, for sure. He gave him a lot of Robson Conceicao. He gave him a lot of trouble.
Yes.
With that nice long punches, for sure. This was by no stretch a Scott Quigg fight
no.
Like a domination like that.
You know what else I based my decision on too? Not just that from what I saw, but also I like to see their faces, the fighters' faces, right when the announcer announces who wins, who won, especially in a close fight. Oh. Sorry, man, there we go.
Battery's
a little low, but I got it charging as I'm.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine.
Should be okay. So what was I saying? In a close fight like this.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
No, like in a close. I don't even remember. Just go to the next thing. Or pretending like I remembered.
Oh man, it was an important. I like to look at the fighters' faces.
Oh yeah, their faces at the
when they announced the winner.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Valdez, they were focused on him as well in split screen. He looked surprised.
I don't recall watching that part. I can't remember. But whatever. He looked surprised, whatever. The scoring wasn't right, but the winner was right for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
But that's okay. We'll see if people subscribe to our YouTube page, Doc and the Boxer. Send us an email at docandtheboxer@gmail.com. Let us hear your opinion on who you thought won this fight.
Yeah, this one's up for a good debate.
So, Doc, did you see the co-main event fight? And I remember I was talking to you about him, Gabriel Flores Jr.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Oh, okay, great. Because I want to talk about that fight. So first, okay, Luis. This is who won the fight was Luis Alberto Lopez, who was 23-2. Oh, now it's 23-2, 12 KOs, Mexicali, Mexico, 10-round unanimous decision, 100-90, 190, 98, 92 over previously undefeated prospect Gabriel Flores Jr. from Stockton, California, 21-7. So the big thing about this fight is like I was like, what? How tough are these Mexican fighters? Like, this guy was just coming and he put a beating on a really good fighter, and he came from a weight class lower.
That was very surprising. These guys, man, these tough Mexican fighters, wow, very impressive, eh?
Yeah, this is exactly what this fight was. As Timothy Bradley said, he goes, to put it in perspective, the commentary down. Sorry, this was a man fighting a boy. That's what it was. And Gabe Flores is only, I think he's 22 or 23. Young fighter.
He's young.
Yeah. So the big thing about this fight, Doc, because like he was taking, I like Gabe Flores Jr. and I like his story and everything, and he's a good fighter, but he was taking a beating in that fight, and I think it could have been stopped at any point. Well, at some point, but then in the last round, before the last round, Gabe Flores Jr., his father, repeatedly told his son, he's like, you gotta get out there and start fighting, or I'm gonna stop it. I'm not no. Flores repeatedly told his son in the corner that he wanted to stop the fight before the 10th round, but the younger Flores talked his father into allowing it to continue. And then his father goes to him, he's I'm stopping it. And Gabe got up. He's like, no. Then he got up, he's like, I'll fight you. Like, don't stop. And then his dad left. He just said it like more of like I'll fight, like pumped up, like let me back out there.
Yeah.
But when's enough? There's a lot of heat that this father took about allowing him to go out there again.
It's a hard, tough call to make, but you gotta figure a father knows best.
Or yeah, I mean, because a fighter is gonna have that bravado,
Bravado.
and bravado. They're gonna have that mantraism stuff. They're not gonna want to stop and not quit.
No.
Anyways, then the dad was about to throw the towel in, but he didn't. So this is what Gabe Flores says. He's like, this man should be fighting for a world title if he wants to at 126, because he fought at 130. That's Gabe's weight class, but he's truly a 160, 26 pounder. And he effing embarrassed me. I wasn't hurt. He was effing up my body, but I wasn't hurt. I'm very disappointed in myself. No excuses. Nobody wants to know what happened. They just want to know if you won or lost. I lost. I like that he was saying that, but then I heard a bunch of other stuff now coming out that he could have won if he fights him again. If we do the same thing, he would fight the same way. Like all these, I don't know.
Yeah, it's better, lose graciously and then keep your mouth shut and work hard again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then Doc, so there's one fight prior to this one too, the first fight, televised portion, that I'm really glad that I saw this fight. And we're talking Junto Nakatani from Japan. Now is 22-0, 17 KOs, retains his WBO flyweight title with a TK over Angel Acosta, who falls to 22-3, 12 KOs. Junto, 5'7", 21-year-old Southpaw. Man, what a fighter. And I said right away, I'm like, this is another monster Inuit from Japan.
What's his name again?
This guy's name is Junto Nakatani.
Okay, I gotta check him out.
Very good, Doc. Very good. And he busted up this kid, Angel Augusta. It was a really good fighter too. busted up his nose. Apparently broke his nose. And there was like you could see there was blood. Joel Diaz was in the corner. The blood it was all over his like here, but you could see the effects of breathing. His nose is broken. It was broken, and this kid hits like so good, man. 17 KOs. You gotta watch this kid.
Is he a southpaw or
Southpaw, 22-0 with 17 KOs from Japan.
Nakatani?
21-year-old.
Okay, I'm gonna look him up
Yeah, look at this guy.
for sure.
So, Doc, I didn't even get the schedule of upcoming fights, but we know that this weekend we're gonna watch a big heavyweight fight, and then I guess like the next 8 weeks, there's gonna be big boxing matches coming up.
There's good fights on, man.
Yeah, starting with the Joshua card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we know in November we still got Canelo. We got
Canelo. Then we got Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to look forward through the rest of September, October, and beginning of November so far.
Yeah. Oh, Doc, I forgot to tell you we were on the split screen like that instead of sideways. Is that gonna affect it when we?
Which way? What do you mean?
We're on top of each other.
That doesn't matter. Who's on top?
Okay, on that note, we're over. The podcast is over.
Not much to say after that.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Either way, either split, it's good.
Okay,
man.
Okay, Doc. Then Rio and Doc and the Boxer episode. We'll go over the Joshua fight next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, bud.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.